The scariest and haunting experiences are so realistic, credible, and terrifying that you can almost bet on at least one night, if not more, of tossing and turning while keeping an ear out for creaking floors and the sound of ghostly moaning. That is, of course, the conundrum of ghost encounters. Your ability to sleep at night will worsen the better they are. We'll discuss a few of these spooky real-life encounters in this video. Number 5. The small hands. Reddit user PatentedSpaceHook recounts a real incident by saying, "I've never lived in a haunted house, but my mother did as a teen." Other homes on her street also experienced weird occurrences. A family resided a few houses away from her. The girl had a terrible headache when she went to bed one night. She was gone the following day, having died of an aneurysm. The father instructed my uncle, my mom's brother, to check on their dogs after her funeral as the family left to distract themselves from the tragedy. He invited my mother and father, who were at the time dating since she wanted to play the grand piano there. My father was pursuing a career as a veterinarian. My mother went to the piano on the ground level as soon as we entered the house, while my uncle and father proceeded to the basement to examine the animals. When she felt something brush her ankles, she was still playing with it. She reasoned that a cat must have emerged from the cellar and moved past her. Number 4. The Phantom Patient. We were told by an ambulance driver that Rig 12 was a haunted ambulance at the ambulance business I used to work for, recalls Reddit.com user Zerbo. A lot of EMTs had stories about it, but I never gave paranormal stuff much of a chance. Until I had my own Rig 12 experience, that is. At 3 in the morning, it was entirely dark and peaceful when my partner and I were working in a remote area. I was driving, she was in the passenger seat, and we were both nodding off. When a voice woke me up, I mistakenly assumed it was my spouse speaking. I informed her that I was attempting to sleep and shut my eyes. "Oh my God, am I dying?" was heard in a male voice, which was followed by some heavy breathing for a few seconds. My companion and I sat up upright and turned to face the direction the voice appeared to have come from in the patient compartment. After a little period of silence, we heard an oxygen bottle regulator click and a hissing sound, as if it were leaking. Number 3. The Ghostly Imp. For years, my neighbor Diane and I had a jovial poltergeist that we named Billy. This is how Reddit user Abbeys Alibi starts their true ghost story. When I got home, I'd discover things that had been placed in odd places, like milk in a cabinet, toilet paper in the refrigerator, and laundry detergent in the bathtub. When Diane couldn't find a gallon of milk, she once called Billy to see if he had been around. Finally, it was discovered outside on her back stairs. Also, sugar. Oh, sugar. My sugar bowl was empty every morning. When I had had enough, I would yell, "Go visit Diane," and point to her house. She'd give me a call in about 5 minutes. She would say, "Thanks a lot." He had gone and committed mischief at her house. Number 2. The Boy Without Eyes. My teacher shared with us his experience, saying, "One night when I was 10, I was awakened by my bedroom door opening, followed by someone sitting on my bed." Reddit.com user Commendo4 tells of a young encounter with a persistent ghostly apparition. "I felt the bed sag under a person's weight and my leg being scraped. I thought, it's just Mom, and I opened my eyes. No, it wasn't my mother. At the foot of my bed, I discovered a youngster of my age who was missing both of his eyes and had black empty sockets. He held out his hand, revealing a small box inside. Though surprised, I extended my hand. He retreated. I swung again and commanded, 'Give it.' I closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, he was gone. However, I could still make out where he had sat on my bed." Jump ahead 5 years. To finish her schoolwork, my girlfriend came over. She finished up and then napped as she awaited her folks. I made an effort to wake her awake when they got there. She looked up at a corner where the wall and ceiling meet as she suddenly opened her eyes. She indicated it and then turned back to sleep. I shook her once more. As soon as she regained consciousness, I told her what she had done. She appeared paralyzed. Up on the wall, I noticed a young child without eyes. He was there, emulating Spider-Man, and he was looking at me. I panicked and related my experience with the same child to her. Put another 5 years in the future. Number 1. The Ghost of Ashley Street. There are many spooky colleges in America, each with its ghost tales, including Huntingdon College. The University of Michigan in Ann Arbor is the source of the following factual story. At a party thrown by the University of Michigan students who lived on Ashley Street in 1972, the haunting took place. According to the Michigan Daily, a 15-year-old girl who arguably had no business being there in the first place suddenly felt a strange, bone-chilling cold. She went upstairs to try to get warm, because heat rises, we guess. Then, everything started to go wrong. A black shadow began to move across the home and came closer to the girl. In the meantime, posters were uncontrollably falling off the walls below and piling up on the floor. When the girl returned downstairs, she was startled to hear herself uttering these odd words. "The drugs and addiction were my faults, and I accept responsibility for that, but I was not that way deep down. I want to express my regret to everyone involved for what I did." That the girl did not use drugs or even have an addiction made those statements much more bizarre. The residents of the house, who were students, didn't find her statements particularly weird. The home had previously been occupied by a man who had a very significant addiction. The cause of his departure from the area? A drug overdose had caused his death. Has Ashley Street's specter made any more appearances? That is still a puzzle. How was the video? Did you enjoy it? Post your feedback in our comment section below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates.